So we're going to start today with a little bit of review of vocabulary from yesterday. All right, so I want you to notice I have 30x plus 8. It does say equals -6 because we're going to talk about equations today, but that's not part of the vocabulary we talked about yesterday. So notice we are only looking at the left-hand side of the equals. So I'm going to give you a word bank, and I want you to put the vocabulary word under the appropriate piece. So here are the vocabulary words we talked about yesterday. We talked about variable. We talked about constant, and we talked about coefficient. So I want you to take a minute, and I want you to place those words in the right spot. All right, what do we think? Where did you start? With the 30? What's the 30 called? Why is it a coefficient? Because it's attached to the x. I'm going to abbreviate that because there's not a lot of space. What about the x? What is that called? That is a variable. And the 8 is our constant. What's the difference between a constant and a coefficient? Yeah. Coefficient is connected to the letter. Constant's all by itself. It's just a regular number. So when we talk about solving equations, okay, we're going to use some of those steps that we did yesterday, but then we're going to add a little bit to it. So I'm going to start off with giving you like wordy steps, okay? So like kind of like a checklist, and then we will go to actually doing it with some numbers, okay? So at the beginning, when we look at these steps, they may not make a ton of sense until we start applying numbers to them. So just hang with me for a few. So first of all, when we're solving any equation, our goal is to isolate our variable, right? We just identified a variable as a letter. We want to get it alone and positive. Again, it has the flu. It needs to be all by itself. And we're going to do that using the inverse operation. Inverse is just a fancy word for saying opposite. So we're going to do the opposite operation of whatever it's telling us. We always, always, always want to distribute if we can. So if there's a parentheses, we want to make sure it goes away first. So remember to distribute A parentheses B plus C, and we're going to distribute. We're going to multiply and see what we get. Okay? If we need to combine any like terms, we're going to do that. Now, when we combine like terms, remember that we are adding and subtracting, and these have to be on the same side of the equals. Okay, if you have an 8 on one side of the equals and a -2 on the other side, that's not like terms. They have to be on the same side. Then we're going to use addition and subtraction. So we're going to move our constant. And then lastly, multiply or divide to move our coefficient. Okay, about 95% of the time, you're going to end up, that last step is going to be division. Okay, the I totally spelled that wrong, I just realized. Coefficient, this is why I teach math. The very last step that we're going to have is, in fact, to check our work. So we need to plug whatever number we get for our letter, plug the number in for our variable to see if both sides are equal. And if we're using the yellow calculator when we do this, it's going to tell us true. Guys, this is a really important step. It takes about 15-20 seconds. It doesn't take very long to do, but it's super, super important. And a lot of the time, people will skip this, and then they bring me their paper, and they're like, did I do this right? And I'm going to say, did you check it? Okay, this is a very, very easy self-check. All right, so let's actually apply that. So step 1 said distribute. Do we need to do that? Remember I said sometimes you need to do all of them, sometimes you only need to do some of them. Do we have a parentheses here? No, so we don't actually need to distribute. So just keep moving on. The next one says what? Collect like terms. If you learn to solve equations with the line and crossing over the line, then draw the line. If you did not learn with the line and that confuses you, don't use the line. okay? Collecting like terms. So obviously we only have a 39 on the right, but on the left we got a lot of things going on. Do I have any matchy-matchy on the left? Yeah. What? 8x and the plus 16x and the negative 14 and the positive 5. So we can collect those like terms. 8 and 16 is 24. Don't forget your x. And a negative 14 and a positive 5 is a negative 9. Now, I'm going to tell you, most of you remember after we get going, you're like, oh, I remember doing this in 8th grade. And you're really good at the steps. And your signs are going to get you, okay? So please, 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 if you are not very good with your integer rules, and that's okay, please put it in the calculator to double check, because I would hate for you to put a positive 9 here and do all your steps correct, but because you had that one sign wrong, it messed up your whole problem. Doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing. You understand the process, but because of that one thing, it messed everything up. So please don't be afraid to double check that. Step 3 says, move your constant. What is our constant? Negative 9. What is the inverse or the opposite of a negative 9? A positive 9. And we know that what we do in one side, we have to do on the other. So I want to see this step. Show me the plus 9 on both sides. Show me that the negative 9 and the positive 9 becomes a 0. Okay? That way you're showing me you understand if I do this here, I have to do it over here as well. All right? So bring down your 24x. What do we have now? 39 and 9. 48. Last piece, and this is where I told you about 95% of the time we're going to have to divide. We got to move that coefficient. What is the coefficient? 24. So we're multiplying a number next to a letter means multiply. So what are we doing? We are dividing. When you put this in your calculator, please put it in as a fraction. We are not in 6th grade anymore. We are not using this divide sign, okay? 24 divided by 24 is 1, so we do have 1x. It is a positive 1x. It is alone. It is positive. If you don't want to put the 1, that's fine. 48 divided by 24 is 2. Are we done? No, we are almost done. We have to check it, guys. It doesn't take very long. All we're going to do is everywhere that we see an x, we're going to put a 2 because that's what we think the value of x is. And our calculator is super nice. Equals 39. So go to your calculator and type that in. Looking at the list, what are we going to do first on number 2? Which we're going to distribute. And that is a what kind of 3? Negative. Do signs matter? Yes. Negative 3 times positive 12x is negative 36x. And if you're not sure what negative 3 times 2 is, don't be afraid to check your calculator. What is it? Negative 27. So we have distributed. So now our parentheses is gone. Okay? Do we need to collect like terms on this one? No. So we can skip that step completely. We can jump straight to moving our constant. What is our constant? Negative 27. How do I move it? What's the opposite? Make it a positive or add it. All of those are the same word, right? All synonyms. So I have negative 36x. When you write this 36x, make sure you bring that negative down. Please don't leave your signs off. It will mess you up. Equals, what is this? 126. How are we feeling so far? Okay. And then last step, move your coefficient. What's your coefficient? Negative 36. And it is being multiplied, so instead we're gonna divide. Are we dividing by a positive or a negative 36? A negative. When we multiply and divide, we do not change the signs. The reason is, remember, we want to have 1x here. Well, if I have negative 36 divided by negative 36, I get that positive 1. Okay, if I have negative 36 divided by positive 36, I have a negative 1. That's not what we want. Positive single variable. Someone tell me what 126 over negative 36 is. Negative 3.5. If you did this in your calculator and you want to get a decimal answer, you just need to put a decimal in your problem. So like where I put this red decimal, you could either put it here or you could put it on the 126, and that's going to make your answer be a decimal because you had a decimal in the problem. If you do not have a decimal, then it's going to give you a simplest form fraction, which is fine too. It'll say like negative 7 over 2. All right, last step. Check it. All right, so I want you to just use your calculator. Negative 3 parentheses 12 times. This is a negative 3.5, so make sure you're using the one with the parentheses there. Plus 9, close parentheses, equals 99. See if it says true or false. What do you notice about this problem? We did one similar to this yesterday. It's just it's a negative. What do we put with it? A 1. We have to distribute that negative 1. So our numbers actually stay the same, but our signs are going to change. Am I distributing that negative 1 to the 14? No. So we've distributed. Our parentheses is gone. So what's next? What's the second step? Combine like terms. Do I have any like terms? What are they? Negative 5 and positive 14. So when I bring that 2x down, bring down the negative. What is a negative 5 and 14? Kind of 9. Positive. Got to have a plus sign in between, okay? And then what is, we got to move the constant. What's the constant? 9. What are we going to do? We're going to subtract it. Again, when you bring this 2x down, make sure it's negative. What is 22 minus 9? 13. Last step. Divide by what? Negative 2. Use your calculator. X equals, and you're probably, put a decimal on it so you get a decimal answer. Negative 6.5. Very nice. And then we can check it. So again, when you check it, you're going to just plug that number in for the letter. This is a negative, so make sure you use the one with the parentheses. Check and see, did we do this right? And you should get true.